Hi guys, Bran here, and today we're doing a little bit of a different commentary video because I've been thinking a lot lately about this whole you're forced to like and enjoy DBD no matter what kind of argument that exists out there. There's like an entire slew of people out in the DBD community that's like, you must like everything about this game, you must accept everything about this game, you must always love this game, you should be grateful behavior even made the game. And I kind of don't get that forced positivity. I mean, I get a lot of slack. Well, not slack. I get a lot of flack for even being somebody who just like criticizes them, you know, sometimes, you know, realistically, I'm just trying to see things as down the middle as I can. It just so happens that they do bad things pretty often, so that's kind of unfortunate. But I don't hate the game. You'll hear me say that all the time. I love streaming this game, but like even I, you know, get attacked pretty frequently for even voicing, you know, those feelings. Even as somebody who isn't like aggressively against behavior, I get a lot of flack for just not overwhelmingly loving this game. And it's just like a really, really, really weird thing. And I was trying to find something more concrete about this whole like forced positivity thing, because there's got to be some sort of study or something about people forcing positivity, because I think it's a real problem in this community. And I did find this article on psychologygroup.com about toxic positivity. So I'm going to put something a little bit more concrete to, you know, what I'm saying, and instead of just, you know, ranting like I usually do. So let's get into some more concrete stuff. So first, you know, starting with the definition. Toxic positivity is an overgeneralization of happy, optimistic state that results in denial, minimization, and invalidation. Look at you, DBD community. Invalidation of the authentic human emotional experience. Wow. Wowee. Just like anything done in excess, when positivity is used to cover up or silence the human experience, it becomes toxic. Looking at you. By disallowing the existence of certain feelings, we fall into a state of denial and repressed emotions. The truth is, humans are flawed. We get jealous, angry, resentful, and greedy. Sometimes life can just flat out suck. By pretending that we have positive vibes all day, we deny the validity of the genuine human experience. Huh, interesting. It's almost like forcing people to like things and forcing people to be positive is not good for their mental health. And that's never a good thing that you should do to someone else, is force them to be positive when they're not feeling like they're positive. Okay? Look at you, DBD community. People are allowed to be upset about this game. People are allowed to have feelings of, wow, you know, them, you know, pulling the rug out from under us with the glitch thing, or ignoring the destabilization on consoles. Like, that is a reason to be upset. If it makes you upset, it makes you upset. It's not your job to get on Twitter and go harass somebody who can't play the game, can't dead hard without freezing the whole freaking video game, and give them crap because they're upset about something that's honestly pretty valid. That there is no reason to give that person flack. You are not helping at the end of the day. You are not helping. I don't know where people get this idea. I don't know if they think like they're fighting the negative fight, you know, like they're trying to keep the community more positive by like coming after people. But what you're really doing is hurting the mental health of the community that you exist in. You are harassing and bothering people for having genuine human emotions. That's all you are doing. You are not being a hero. You are not saving the community. You are not improving the community. You are not helping behavior either. You are just being a jerk. You are just hurting people for no reason. You are making people feel like crap for having emotions that are natural. Please stop. Please stop it. Let's look at these signs. Let's look at these signs of toxic positivity. Hiding and masking your true feelings. You're not allowed to feel things. You got to pretend you like this game, even if you don't. Look at you, Fog Whisperers. There you go. Every day I get farther from being a Fog Whisperer. Every day I say something like that, I'm going down the hole. Trying to get on with it by stuffing and dismissing emotions. Yeah, you know, like, you know, ignoring all the wonderful things that are constantly going wrong with this game. And you know, it would have been fine if it was like a free-to-play game, but it's actually a fully paid game on top of hundreds of dollars of TLC, and it still won't work. Not allowed to feel upset about those things. Feeling guilty for feeling what you feel. This is probably the one I feel the most. Number 3 is like the one I feel the most. I feel guilty every single time I make a video. I'm not even joking. I feel guilty every time I make a video because I feel like I'm going to be perceived as somebody who's just like ridiculously negative and whiny and stupid every single time. Even when I stream. Even when I stream over in the Twitch zone, anytime I try to like say like, well, you know, Hag's kind of boring to play against, I feel like I am now under surveillance, right? Like I'm under a microscope. And I'm not allowed to say those negative things no matter how my feelings say. My feelings say, you know, this sucks. But, like, I can't even express those because people have this idea, like, everything has to be positive all the time. So I feel like, you know, I feel guilty to, you know, be myself, to express myself. Because I would say I'm, like, you know, generally somebody who errs on the negative side. It's not aggressively so. It's like 60-40. But I'm more often negative than I am positive, and I'm trying to work on that every day. But that's just me, right? That's, like, who I am. But I feel like people try to stifle that because they have this idea of, like, everybody must be positive all the time, the toxic positivity. So I'm not allowed to be myself because people want to force this idea, and I just feel guilty to just exist in a content creation zone, and it's just really obnoxious. Or minimizing other people's experiences with feel-good quotes or statements. Oh boy, do I hear this very often. I was watching a Fog Whisperer the other night who was talking about the Dead by Boycott stuff, talking about the Dead by Boycott stuff, and one of the big things that people brought up as in this discussion was, you know, the console's having such poor performance right now, and they said it wasn't that bad. They said it wasn't that bad. They downplayed the issues on consoles. They downplayed the issues on consoles right now. Horrible issues on consoles. Stuttering, freezing. Switch looks like hot garbage now just to try and make it function. They downplayed the experiences people were having because of their partnership with behavior. And that sucks. That sucks. That sucks big time. Because there are people out there with, like, real issues right now that should be addressed. And it could just be simple. It could just be simple. You could just address those. Like literally, you could just, like, oh, sorry, we're working on it. And they didn't put that tweet out till today, and it's been an issue for, like, 2 or 3 weeks. But they put a tweet out today that's like, sorry, there was an issue with the HDD maybe, and we're trying to fix it, you know. They could have said that right away, but instead, you know, the Fog Whisperers are out here, like, pretending it's not really that big of an issue, I guess. It's just one person, okay? But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're out here trying to downplay that the issue even exists to defend our big boy company because, and that's like gaslighting. You're just gaslighting people's experiences to make things more positive, and that's just garbage. You just shouldn't do that. That's just stupid. Like, if this could have all been so simple if you just went, yeah, it is pretty sucky, but I'm sure they're working on it. Could have been that simple. But no, you're trying to downplay people's experiences now, which is just gross. 5, trying to give somebody perspective. It could be worse instead of validating their emotional experience. Whoa, I see this one a lot. It could be worse. I saw this a lot with the Nemesis chapter. Like this chapter that we're currently in, people are like, well, it's not binding of kin. I'm like, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's like, it's not binding of kin. I'm like, but yeah, but like this is a paid game. This isn't a freemium game. This is a paid game. We paid for this game, and then we paid for all this DLC, and it's still not working. Like, it barely works. So like, I know binding of kin was worse, but all these issues are still a problem. 6, shaming or chastising others for expressing frustration or anything other than positivity. This is I take things back. I take things back. This is the real one I experienced the most. Well, I don't know. They're about equal. 3 and 6 are the big ones. Shaming or chastising others for expressing frustration. You're not allowed to say anything bad about this game. Like, there are people in this that will keyboard warrior you out of the water. Out of the water. Keyboard warrior you out of the water if you express anything other than positivity about this game. I think if the people that played this game didn't love this game, they wouldn't say anything. They would just quit and leave. I think the people that stay with this game love this game. It's like their top 10 games, but it should be their number 1 game. And the only reason it's not is because these egregious issues. It's their top 10 games. It's not their number 1. And it should be, but it's not because of these issues. They should be telling everybody in their friend group to play Dead by Daylight, but they're not because of egregious issues. So, expressing frustration and hatred towards people who criticize the game, often these people are the ones that care the most. It doesn't take a lot of effort to whine and complain, impress someone over them criticizing something. That's like 2% effort. You are not being a hero. You're being lazy. It takes a lot to love a game and then talk poorly about it, because that actively goes against your interests, because you're going to have less people to play with, and especially on a content creation side of things, Like, sometimes your livelihood is based on this game's, like, well-being. And if you have to say bad things about it, you are literally affecting your livelihood. You are. That stuff's way harder. Way harder. So you think you're proud, you think you're great because you can come in and keyboard warrior somebody over them trying to be honest when they're trying to break it to a game that they love a lot, that things aren't going well? You're not the hero there. You're not the person who's really having to put forward the effort. So, take it down a notch. Number 7, brushing off things that are bothering with it is what it is. This is probably the worst thing I see with Dead by Daylight. This is like objectively, I feel like the worst thing I see with Dead by Daylight. It's like, that's just how Dead by Daylight is. You know, that's just how it goes. You know, like it's DBD. That's DBD for you. I mean, like, what did you expect when you were going to play Dead by Daylight? When referring to all the bugs and the issues, and I'm like, I think Brand 2 Night Shift Tonight said it the best in a very, very long but very, very great rant on his Twitch channel. But I'll try to like summarize, and I've kind of alluded to it in this video. Is like, I feel like a lot of these issues would be fine if it were a, you know, freemium experience like Dead by Daylight. You just download and you just start with like the first 3 killers, first 3 survivors, and you know all the issues are, you know, what they are, and you can buy more DLC if you want. But this is a paid experience. You gotta buy the whole game. You have to buy the game to have access to play the game, and then you have to buy hundreds of dollars DLC to make this work. And even after that, it's, you know, the game's barely functioning, the matchmaking's terrible. Like, it has a plethora of problems, dude. Plethora of problems. And this is an expensive experience, right? This isn't some freemium game. This is a full experience. There's no reason this game should be in the state that it's in. Like there's just, like, if you step away, if you step out of the bubble, most of the people that are saying it's okay have just been in the bubble. They've been in the Dead by Daylight bubble for a long time. But if you step outside the bubble for like 10 seconds and take a breath of fresh air from an outside perspective, you're like, dude, that's a dumpster fire, and it just shouldn't be. And that's the main thing. It just shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be this way. And it is. So saying it is what it is, yeah, yeah, you know, you have expectations and they're low. But like, it shouldn't be like this at all. It just shouldn't. Just saying it is what it is does not matter. It just doesn't. Yeah, so essentially TLDR, if you're out there trying to have a constructive conversation about this game, invalidating people's feelings and trying to be a positivity warrior is just like not the way to do it, because toxic positivity is a very, very real thing, and you're doing more harm than good by trying to like help, whether that be help the community or help behavior. You're doing more damage than you are healing by going out here and stifling people's feelings and being mean for one reason or another. So dial it back, and call people out in the community who are doing this, trying to force this toxic positivity, because they may not be as bad as the people who are like, you know, on your Twitter saying, I wish your parents would perish and stuff like that, you know, like obviously those guys are like the worst, right? But the toxic positivity people are like also a major issue. So don't let that stuff stand in the community. If you meet people like that are constantly forcing positivity, constantly forcing you to avert your path when you're trying to criticize things or just, you know, vent, like, you stop those people in their tracks, because they are not helping. So yeah, once again, another semi-serious video. I need to like do something fun and interesting, because I'm like getting down to the nitty-gritty and it's getting a little too close to home. So yeah, I have to do some funny videos. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you found this helpful and informative. And if I don't see you in the next video on Twitch, friend, I will see you when I see you, bud. Goodbye.